Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the sixth round of Season 16 in Division 2. We are here in Miami for the US Grand Prix. My name is Adela Phoenix 1. I'll be taking you through tonight's action. Alone, unfortunately. Jonathan not available this week, but we should still have a very fun evening here. We've got 20 drivers around this. Is it technically a street circuit? It has street circuit characteristics, so we'll call it a street circuit. I'm pretty sure it's in like a parking lot or something of the Miami Rock Stadium. Don't quote me on that, I could be completely wrong. Um, I have not done my research on this track like a good commentator would. I'm just here for the chaos, for the fun. See what happens. And yeah, we've got a full grid for tonight. Every single main driver in attendance for the US Grand Prix in Miami. This should be fun. And I'm reading all dry. Okay. But still, I mean, a track like Miami, you don't even need rain, really, to yeah, have absolutely zero traction. This track is quite bad. Not just on this game, but on every F1 game, really. For traction on the rear tire, you just spin a whole lot. Especially here in the first sector, you have to be really careful with the throttle. Otherwise, you can obviously see Mihai coming out the pit lane, having to correct the oversteer there, and he's not even pushing yet. So I think that tells you everything you need to know. And he's the first one out the pit lane, so we'll watch his lap. I'd guess that the pole time should be somewhere in the 125s. At least that's what it was in Division 1, I believe. So I'd expect similar around here. Oh no, Division 1 was wet in qualifying. I actually know nothing. My memory, my brain is scrambled completely. But in terms of the titles, well, of course, we didn't have a stream for last week's race at Abu Dhabi, so I can run you through the results of that. The win went to Sully, so he's picked up 2 wins in a row. If that is now actually tied on points with Gabri for P2, with Gabri having P5 finish in Abu Dhabi, getting 10 points. Edwin, once again in P2, he's now leading the standings by 20 points over Gabri and Sully. Pisivoli finished 3rd in Abu Dhabi, he's now on 61 points. So it looks like we have our main 4 contenders, Edwin, Gabri, Sully, Pisivoli. Kuku is on 50 points, so he's 38 behind Edwin. And then Ossi on 40, that's those on the next 2. So yeah, I do think we've got the halfway point in the season that we've reached today. We've got the 4 drivers pretty much picked out to watch out for. It's the same 3 as last season. Sully, Gabri, Pisivoli with 1 more addition of Edwin, who has actually not won a race so far. He's finished P2, I think 5 times, and no, P2 4 times, and 1 time P3. We've only had 5 completed races. This is our 6th one. And Mihai quite loose on the rear through the first sector. It's a 30.2, and he abandons the lap. Does not want to continue it. We'll go on board instead with Dylan, who's just coming from the first sector then. And now he was quite confident going into this race. I saw some fighting talk from him about taking home the win today, which would be his first win in Division 2. Not an F1 Total entirely, he has won Division 1 in the past. Has been a couple of years, but still. And that looked like a fairly decent first sector. 29.7. So we'll have to see if Dylan can back up what he was saying earlier about wanting to take the win today. Well, of course, he wasn't going to want to take the win, but he was... he definitely seemed confident about this track. But this would be a strong one for him. But when you've got a grid of 20 drivers, and the grid as close as Division 2 has been for the, well, ever since it was open pretty much. Can't really remember a Division 2 grid that wasn't silly close. Yeah, you really don't know who's going to be the favorite coming from the race, who can take over the race win. Dylan's about to run out of ERS, that will cost him a bit of time running down to the line, I reckon. So he comes to the final corner, and yeah, he's now out of ERS. So he's going to have very little acceleration coming up to the line. It's a 26.594, which I don't think is a great lap, to be entirely honest. We've got Ossi coming from the final corner as well. DC Viral at 27.3. Action Brick 28.9. Aussie 26.7. Garbage 26.7 as well. Always 27.0. See a Red Bull over the line, or is that an RB? That's Kluko starting up. Got a yellow flag in the first sector. We've got Sean also from the final corner. A bit of overtake, but now he's out of deployment. And over the line for him, that's a 26.916 fourth place for Sean. The next car across the line is a Ferrari of Edwin, our current championship leader. Can he keep his podium streak going? So far, no race off the podium. The lowest finish of P3, every other race a P2. That's going to be a 26.1 for Edwin. He takes provisional pole position. And the Haas behind him of Mihai goes 9th fastest, 28.2. And we've got picks over the line in the Williams, and that's a 27.705. Next car I see is an Aston Martin. That will be Dylan again, who is on his way to the pit lane. Kluko not on a push lap. Desi's on a push lap, there we go, we found someone. Sully up ahead as well. Sully and Desi both coming to the line. We'll still move Desi. You can keep an eye on the timing board to see what Sully has done. 6th fastest, 27.0, and Desi with a 27.2. 9th fastest. Guga River over the line jumps to 3rd place, 26.664. And that might be it in terms of push laps right now. Always starting another one now as well. Still not another push lap, he's using hot lap ERS, but no, signal times are quite clear. Kluko is also on that lap, so I think we've got both Red Bull. Desi seems to be trying again on the same set of tires, but he's quite far down in the first sector. Always also on another lap here. PC where he's about to start his first lap of the session. But so far Edwin looks to be the pace setter here, 26.140. Could he finally have a shot to take home the first race win for him of the season? Action Brake retiring in the pits, he's happy with the 28.9, doesn't think he can improve any further than that. Kluko is quite low. What? No, it was. I thought it was just a yellow fuel light, but no, it's gone again. Maybe I was just imagining things. Kluko out by 4 seconds, of course. He's going to be massively improving. I think he abandoned the lap he did before. Was still valid, but he made a mistake somewhere and decided he doesn't really want to finish that lap. Slapped the ERS to none. But he's also got a run out of ERS coming from the last corner, so he's going to have quite a slow run to the line. That's going to cost him. So yeah, it's costing quite a lot of these guys really a lot of time that they're not managing the ERS properly on their hot lap. And for Kluko, it's a 27.093, 9th fastest. Now PC Woody, of course, currently at the back of the field in P16 with on lap time. That's going to change, I'm fairly certain. PC Woody, definitely one of the fastest drivers we have. Oh, Jesus, in Division 2. Sorry, I don't know why I'm like, I don't know how to explain it, but I have air in my throat. I can't really talk properly. Okay. PC Willy into the final corner. And he's also gonna run out of ERS. It happens to everyone, it seems like. They're just using a bit too much early on in the lap, it seems. And over the line for PC Willy, it's gonna be a 26.392, 2nd fastest for PC Willy. Is Kluko gone again for another lap? It's only 2 tenths down the first step, but he made a bit of a mistake there in the chicane. He's 5 tenths down, okay. DC Viral on his 2nd lap of the session. Currently 13th, 27.372, and it's very close in the midfield there. If we look at the gaps, yeah, pretty much from 8th to 13th, that's 3 tenths. And especially from 8th to 10th, Sully to Kluko, there's absolutely nothing separating Sully Always Kluko. Gabri and Aussie really close together as well, so yeah, the margins, once again, really, really tight. And we still have a couple more drivers to watch out for. Marcelio, Phantom, Lanky, Bazooka. They've not done a lap time yet, so they're gonna be looking to rocket up the field at some point. Although we know how Phantom does it usually, he just starts in the back and then makes up like 15 places. And he's arrived with a 6/10 improvement in the middle sector. So he's looking to go quite far up the good with that, with a 6/10 improvement. That should put him around, like, ahead of his teammate and ahead of Gabri, around Kugavura. If he can nail the final corner as well, which, he looks to have done. That was quite a good final corner. He's got a bit of EIS left, he's burned some overtake, now he's out of EIS and over the line. It's a 26.448, indeed, third fastest. He's gained even more time in the last sector. And he'll be very happy with that, I reckon. Flavors on another lap as well. He's currently in 12th with a 27.225. And that looked like quite a good chicane from him there. Very smooth. He's up by 5/10 indeed. So looking at a 26.7, which would put him close to Gabri and Ossi. Because those guys are also now all on their second runs. Flavor's got a lot more EIS than everybody else has. So he's actually not going to run out as he crosses the line, He's going to have EIS all the way onto the line. And that's going to enable him to improve to a 26.7 flat. P6 for Flavors. Gabri's made a mistake on this lap. Ossi over the line. He's also still got a bit of EIS left. 26.440, 8 thousandths out of his teammate. P3 and 4 for the Mercedes boys right now. Sean up by 2/10 in the first sector. Sully coming into sector 1 as well, and he is up by 4/10. Sully with a massive improvement. We'll watch the end of Sean's lap. 30 thousandths up. He didn't quite get the best middle sector this time around. Slower than his previous best. Now it's a bit of traffic up ahead. Hopefully they get out of this way, because that car ahead is aggressively weaving. There we go. It's made way for Sean. And Sean goes into the final corner to complete his lap. Oh! And he loses on traction. And that's what I meant. This track is so slippery. It feels like there is absolutely no traction the entire way around. And Sean has fallen victim to that. But now I'm with Sully. I'm trying to get the game to show me his delta time, but it's being annoying. So we'll have to wait and see as he goes to the line. Good exit on the final corner and up to the line for Sully. He's won the last 2 races, and this time it's going to be a 1:26.384, third fastest for Sully. 8 thousandths ahead of his teammate BC, Willie. Who else do we have on the lap? Kuko, I think. Yep, 2.5 tenths gained in the first sector. Currently down in 12th. He'll be hoping to be much further towards the front of the grid. He's usually one of the faster guys in Division 2, so to be down in 12th, he's not going to be happy with that whatsoever. Doesn't cut the second power chicane quite as much as he could, but the first one looked really good. And he's up by 5 and a bit, almost 6 tenths. Big improvement coming from Kuko. He's going to join the top 5 if he has a good final sector. If he has a good final sector, but he's out of EIS already. He's going to lose loads of time. Out the final corner here. He's literally got nothing left in the EIS department. So coming up to the line, Kuko's going to have lost quite a bit in the final sector. It's still enough for a P7, 26.535. But that's some potential, thrown in the bin. He could have been much further towards the front if he had managed the EIS on that lap a little bit better. Now we've got Bazooka coming into the pit lane. Okay, he put his first level session in earlier. He's now 14th. Sully also back in the pits. And Kuko, is he gonna go again? Surely not. He's out of fuel. Half a lap of fuel left. He can't really go again. So that means at the moment no one on the hot lap. We've got 4 minutes left to go here in qualifying. At the moment, Edwin, with that lap he did right at the start, is banker for 26.1. Still over 2/10 clear of second place Dylan. Looking quite strong there. Gabri now starting his final lap of the session. 3.5 minutes to go. He could try again on the same set of tires, but he doesn't have the fuel for that, so this lap needs to be the one. He's got 1.5 liters of fuel. Last chance for Gabri. Currently down in 10th, which is an unusually bad qualifying for him. The record pole sitter in Division 2. No one has taken more pole positions than him, and by quite a margin. I think he has 20 poles, and the next highest is 8, if I remember correctly. So if he would be down in 10th, that would be very disappointing for Gabri. But so far the lap looks really clean. No more mistakes really that I can see. Into chicane, quite a crucial part of the lap. And that looked quite good. Maybe a bit careful on the throttle on the exit. But onto the main back straight we go now. He's up by 2/10. A bit of an improvement coming in, but not exactly a massive improvement. He does have quite a bit of ERS left to play with. Let's see if that can gain him some time in fights, because I think he was one of the guys who ran out as well over the line. So he's going to gain a little bit coming out the final corner here. And up to the line for the Italian. He's one off ERS now. That's going to be a 25.948. He was only 2/10 up in middle sector and found another 6 in the last sector. And he jumps all the way from 10th to pole position. What a lap by Gabri, out of absolutely nowhere. He steals away pole position from Edwin. Desi over the line, improves to 12 with a 27.008. Aussie up by 1.5 tenths in the first sector, currently in 6th. Those 1.5 tenths already put him into the top 3 here. But of course, Edwin, Dylan, Sully, PC, they're all gonna have something to say about that. Viral, I think, starting his lap now, yep. We also have Sean starting a lap. Mia isn't Valde in his run. Phantom is out on track to do a lap at the end. I think Lanky and Mastellio have both stayed in, they're not doing a lap. Aussie up by 48 thousandths in the middle sector, and now into the last braking zone of the lap, into the hairpin. Has to be careful on the throttle. And now down to the line for the Mercedes man. What can it be? That's going to be a 26.219, third fastest for Aussie. I think Viral, yep, he messed up the lap, he's not going to be improving. We've got Dylan starting a lap now. Currently 4th fastest, 26.377. We'll stay on board with him because I don't think anyone else is really going to be able to do much at the moment. Sully and PC, of course, but they are on odd lap as well. Same for Edwin. Fully flat in the first part of the S's, a little bit of a lift for the second part. Oh, that didn't look ideal there. He was on the throttle too early, lost the rear, had to correct it. He's still up by 3 tenths despite that little mistake. A really strong first sector from Dylan. Maybe he's got a chance of beating Gabri to pole here. Into the slow section we go. He's gonna break at the 100 meter board. Go down to medium ERS, there we go. And now just be careful on the throttle. Rotate the car in nicely. Onto the brakes. Cut the chicane as much as you can without getting into validation. He stayed quite far away from the track limits. And Dylan is going to be up by almost 3 tenths there. That's not going to be enough for Gabri unless he has a great final sector. But it could be enough for P2. Of course, Edwin, Sully, PC Bully all still going as well. We've not been looking at their sector times. But so far, so good for Dylan. Out the final corner, he's going to be out of ERS here, a bit of a mistake on the traction. That's going to be a 26.131, it's P2 for now, but Edwin is up by 2 tenths. Sully is down by 2. Edwin is coming into the final corner, up ahead to Tuhas, Google River and Mihai coming over the line also. Mihai goes 11th, and Google River, let's see, he's going to go 10th, doesn't improve. Edwin over the line. He takes pole position, 25.905, steals it away from his teammate. Sully has abandoned his lap. PC only up by 55 thousandths only in the middle sector. Not sure there's improvement coming in. Flavors, where's he come from? P5, 26.319. PC only over the line. Can he improve on his P7? Yes, he can, but only 2P6 beats his teammate. We've got Desi in the pit lane, Bazooka still on the last load session, Phantom also still going around. And I think Phantom, yep, just jumped to 6th place, 26.364. Really good lap by Phantom right to death. And Bazooka jumps into 12th, and that's it. It's a Ferrari 1-2 here in Miami. Edwin leading Gabri by only 43 thousandths of a second. Then Dylan in 3rd place, followed by Aussie Flavors in the really strong 5th place. Phantom, also really strong 6th place in qualifying for him. 1,000 ahead of PC Wooly, who himself is only, I think, 19,000 of Sully, if I saw that correctly. Sully down in 8th, PC down in 7th. Not a good qualifying for the VCAR boys. DC Viral in 9th, and then Kuko rounding out the top 10. Gugawa in 11th, we've got then Bazooka not that far behind. Mihai in 13th, Sean over a second back in 14th, you won't be happy with that whatsoever. Desi, the first driver outside the 126s, in 15th, and then Allwise in 16th. Pix in 17th, Actionric in 18th, yeah, Marcelio in 19th, Lanky in 20th, Marcelio and Lanky without lap times. And that was it for qualifying in Miami. And so far, Edwin looks to be the favorite for today's race. He took pole position, he was really strong in the first lap of qualifying. Gabri pulled out a wonder lap to steal away from him. And yeah, Edwin took it straight back. But we are in for a good race for sure, because the gaps were not far away from each other at all. They were all quite close together. So you cannot count out anyone really. I mean, we know the quality of the likes of Sully, of the likes of PC, of the likes of Kuko and Sean a bit further down the field. And of course the same goes for the guys near the front. We also know their quality, the likes of Edwin, Gabri, Dylan. Yeah, they are all really, really class drivers. You've got Flavors up there as a bit of a curveball. We'll see how he can do starting in 5th place. And there we go, the 5 red lights. And it's lights out. And we're underway here in Miami. The 2 Ferraris on the front row. Are they going to lead into turn 1? Edwin with a great start. Gabri under attack by Dylan. Dylan really late on brakes on the outside, and that costs him the exit speed he needs. I think Gabri's going to hold on to P2. Yes, he can. 10-second penalty to Mihai for a severe collision with his teammate. His teammate now down in last place, way off the field. One alert has happened between the two Haas drivers. But Edwin leads off the line from Gabri, then Dylan. The top 3 staying, the top 5, 6, the top 8 completely staying the same, I think. And then, not sure if Viral was up 1. And Mihai is out! On the first lap of the race, Mihai is binded. Or binned. Either way, there he is. Coming onto the main straight. Or the DS straight, long straight on the track at least. Mihai is standing in the barrier. And that was only half a lap after he got a 10-second penalty for a collision with his teammate. So that ends Mihai's race, and I could not think of a more Mihai type race than that. Half a lap, 10-second penalty for killing your teammate, and in the barrier. Virtual safety car deployed, no full safety car, so we're going to be underway once more in a couple of, I don't know, seconds. We'll see how long it stays out. But this gives us the opportunity to have a quick look at the tire strategy. Wow, that is insanely interesting, guys. You are all so creative. We've got one soft runner in Guga River, everybody else on the mediums. And I think Guga... Oh yeah, he's gonna pit. Look at that damage. That's quite a bit of damage on his front wing there. I think both sides, yeah, completely missing every, like, winglet. Sully in the pits as well, and same for Kuko. Do they have damage? Let's see. It's a wing change for Kuko, and a wing change for Sully as well. Sean is also in, and also a wing change, so yeah, all 4 of them with damage on the first lap. DS now back on the way. They are all gonna go into hards. Let's see, can they try and go to the end from here? Otherwise they are very much good. Oh, that's Dylan going way off. Also he tries to take advantage, but it's not quite possible for him. We've got Phantom putting quite a bit of pressure on Flavors there for P5. Viral struggling to hold on to the top 6. We might see a bit of a leading train breaking away. Flavors now with a run on Aussie. Is he gonna try and take 4th place? No, he settles in behind once more. Waits for a better opportunity. Doesn't wanna rush anything there. Quite a smart move by him. But the top 2, the 2 Ferraris, seem in control a little bit. Gabri's got loads of ERS, and the same for Edwin. Dylan, not really putting pressure on them right now. But the main thing he needs to do is to stay with them. As long as he stays with them, anything is possible. So now Gabri takes the lead from Edwin. The ERS swap, 2 Ferraris. Yeah, there's not really much sense for them to battle each other. They're only going to slow each other down at this point in time. Might as well just swap in the ERS every single time that you can. And they can worry about beating each other later in the race. Of course, right now a great opportunity for them to make up some points in the Constructor Championship fight as well. They are already in the lead, but with Sully in 16th and Pisciri in 7th, this looks to be a good opportunity for them to extend the gap even more. As now Phantom has gotten past Flavors. Flavors is ghosting and Phantom is trying to ghost through him. I think it's going to work out for him. Yep, there we go. Phantom takes 5th position. But has he got the ERS? Because if not, he has not. And Flavors does. So Flavors might just immediately retake the position. No, Phantom burning with the ERS to make sure he stays ahead, and maybe can stay in the DRS with Aussie up ahead. Make sure he stays in contact with the top 4. And we've got a bit of a battle forming there as well. That's Owise, Marcelio and Pix battling over 12th to 14th. Just outside the points there. Lanky Brown, by the way, with a great race so far. He started in 20th, I think it was, or 19th, one of the two. He was one of the guys without a lap time in qualifying. He started 20th, and he's now 11th. So already 3 laps into the race, only 1 position away from the points. He can be quite happy with that. And he's left the cars behind in the dust 2 seconds. He's got a gap to Owise in 12th. Admittedly, he's also out of the ES and Desi ahead. But that can be changed later, as Aussie makes a move on Dylan for 3rd place. So he's now the one chasing after the Ferraris. He needs to make sure he stays in the second, because if those Ferraris get over a second ahead and they start working together to just keep that gap for the rest of this Grand Prix, it could be curtains for everybody else, really. If they just get a 1 second gap, start DRS swapping each other, and keep pulling away from the field more and more, it's gonna be a tough time. But Aussie's managed to stay in the DRS range, which is absolutely crucial. Edwin is going to retake the lead from Gabri. Gabri not defending it whatsoever. He's happy to let his teammate fly past him on the straight. Like I said, no point battling, no point staying behind. DRS is so effective that you can just swap back and forth. And you are faster by doing that. Phantom Fox struggling to stay in DRS. Dylan now. He's just about, I think, gonna get the DRS. Yep. The first car, I don't even know the first car that's dropped out of the train is. Might be Bazooka, I think he's got DRS. Desi is the first car not in the train, so the top 9 all in one big DRS train still. Aussie and Dylan closing quite a bit in the braking there. I think Gabri braking a little bit early to try and stay behind or to stay in the position that they're in. Oh, and a disconnect by Owise. I'll invite him back as soon as I can. And hello, Mihai.
I don't know how that took me out, but we move.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very glad I told you to do the race instead of commentary. That worked out really well for you, didn't it?
I don't know how I got 10 seconds as well for topping.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what happened? Because you were at 10 seconds, he was spun around. Did you kill him?
I didn't spin around. I just sent him a bit wide. Then somehow I got 10 seconds instead of the one that spun him around. But, I don't know.
Okay, I've invited Owise back in. I hope it gets through because he was showing offline. Marcelio also just made a 2nd pit stop already. Oh no, it was 1st pit stop, never mind.
I haven't done this in a while. But
well, welcome to the commentary booth.
Lanky Brown's gained 9 positions already.
Yeah, he said
5 laps.
He was up in 11th, I think, around like lap 2 or 3 already. Lap 3 is when I noticed it, but it might have been even earlier. Gabri now retaking the lead from Edwin. The DRS swaps don't stop. But He's actually defending a little bit on the main straight, doesn't want to let his teammate back through immediately. And Aussie has moved very close to the back of the two Ferraris. So they are getting under a bit of pressure from Aussie and Dylan in behind. They need to watch out for that. The top 7 breaking away from everybody else. DC Viral 2.5 seconds back from PC Wooly. He has to contend with Bazooka instead. As PC Wooly gets past Flavors for P6 in the first sector somehow. I'm not sure how he's pulled that one off. And Flavors has got quite a bit of understeer. Has he picked up some damage maybe? No. The front wing seems fine. But he was really understeery coming onto the main straight there. Not main straight. This is like second or third time I've called it the main straight. It's just A straight.
It might as well be a main story, honestly.
Yeah, the actual main straight is like the shortest straight on the track, so it's weird. Flavors is gonna probably drop out of the DRS to PC Wooly here, so the top 6 maybe breaking away from him. It's close. But I think, yeah, he's lost DRS.
Slightly.
Oh, has he picked up any damage? No.
I
Seems fine.
don't think.
At least not visually, so if he has picked up damage, it's fairly minor.
It's lost him some time on the exit. Oh.
Whoa, that's
Bit of a
not
bump.
good. That was a bit of a Constantino effect, and I think I've got away with that. Yellow flags in behind, that's
Yep.
Viral
His
and
front wing
someone
spot
else.
is him and Bazooka. They've put each other in a wall.
That's not optimal. Viral isn't the pit lane to get the front wing changed. Bazooka seems fine, he's just lost a couple of places. Yeah, he's dropped behind Desi and Lanky with that. And we've got yellow flags for a Aston Martin. That's Marcelio with a crash coming on the back straight. As also he drops behind
ironic.
PC Wooly and Phantom. Phantom Fox now up the instant of Dylan. The top 2 have pulled away. I'm not sure what's happened here, but seems to have kicked up all sorts because Phantom got shown from 6th to 3rd. And they've lost DRS to the 2 Ferraris ahead. Now PC Wooly and Dylan both trying to make a move on Phantom. They're going to be 3 wide, heading into the slow section of the track. Phantom drops out of the battle. Does he? Now it's Dylan and Phantom in behind PC Wooly as PC Wooly pulls a little bit ahead. Dylan with a moment of oversteer. And Phantom takes 4th place, not all of that.
Oh.
Oh, and Dylan gets a 3-second time
got
penalty
up.
for track limits. That's going to really hurt him as well in a train like this. So close together. And those 3 seconds are going to drop him behind Aussie in 7th right now. And the Ferraris would have been seeing all that in their rear view mirrors, yeah? And with absolutely nothing up, we've got a yellow flag for Pix.
E-Leg spun. At the chicane.
You still call him E-Bag after all this time.
Yep.
To be fair.
Yep.
Oh, Bazooka
That's
is in the run-off zone of the final corner. I'm not sure how he's pulled that one off. Does a 3-point turn to get the car back into the right direction. Aussie's in the pit lane with a wing change. Aussie picked up wing damage in all of that chaos.
I'm not sure I'll ever call him anything but that.
To be fair, I'm not sure if you still know Fabian, the double world champion in this one, from like 10 years ago basically. He's still called Sully Gary, because that was his PSN like 5 years ago. Pix has retired in the pit lane.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Is Rick on AI?
Sure not.
Just, no.
No, he's driving.
No, I think his driving inputs were just a bit weird for a second.
The Ferrari's moving away more and more from PC Wooly. They've taken full advantage. Oh, Dylan! He clips the inside barrier on the first part of the chicane with the rear tire, gets spun around, loses a bit of front wing, rejoins in 6th place. Further insult to injury in his race.
I'm not sure I've ever seen anyone spin like that though.
Sam Arling DNF'd like that on Saturday, I think. Desi now going past Dylan as well with the DRS. Phantom Fox also picked up a time penalty while Dylan was shitting himself, so he is gonna have thrown away probably a good result with that as well. Those 3 seconds being added to his final race time. Dylan goes into the pits. We're gonna get the front wing change and go to hards to the end of the race. So he has to do a bit of a recovery drive from here.
13 positions now for Wanky Brown.
Yeah, he's just casually moved up to 7th in all of this like, buffoonery. Dylan is gonna come out, yeah, behind Sean. Edwin is struggling to stay with Gabri, and Gabri has got so much more EIS. So Edwin really needs to get a move on here if he wants a chance of winning this race though, because Gabri seems to have the way better pace right now. Almost a second ahead, and with, yeah, 60% more EIS left in the tank. Edwin could be in trouble here of losing contact to his teammate, and with that losing his chance of a race win. And maybe even more, because of course he's got Peaceably and Phantom in behind chasing him. Right now he's being pulled along by Gabri, but if he drops out of 1 second, he will be on his own, he will be significantly slower without the DRS. It will be much tougher for him to hold on to that P2 as well. We've got the chasing pack basically, Aussie, Sully, Kuklo here. They made early pit stops onto the hards. Can I have a look at the gap to the leader while we're here? 29 seconds from Aussie to Gabri, so yeah, I don't think they're gonna be a factor in that sense. Dylan makes the move on Sean for 14th. Of course, Dylan on fresh hards against slightly used hards. Always gonna be working out in his favor. But yeah, maybe someone like Flavors could come out behind Aussie. From V5 and downwards basically. Marcelio now with a 3-second time penalty, also ruining his race even further.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think he's making it back from 38 seconds.
He just needs one safety car to be fair, that's the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
You could spin another time, as long as he doesn't get lapped. Actually, if he spins one more time, he might get lapped. Oh, he's got wing damage again. Marcelio is about to be lapped, because he has to pit for the wing change again, and then he'll be behind...
No,
he's gonna stay out, but okay, he's just delaying it a bit further then. By staying out and hoping for a safety car to save him before he gets lapped. Otherwise this race
Edwin's
is over.
coming. Edwin is pitting.
Early pit stop for Edwin.
He almost spun on the pit entry.
He's gonna try and undercut his teammate, which is a bold choice, seeing that it seemed like Gabri had stronger pace. So you'd think that all you're really doing by this is giving him the advantage later, because Gabri will catch back up, surely. But either way, there's Edwin out of the pit lane, and he will be in clean air, which is crucial. Got a bit of a... well, not too much clean air as well, he's only 1.5 seconds behind Owise and Lanky. So he needs to try and get around those guys quickly and cleanly to make sure he can beat his teammate today. We'll see if Gabri responds to the undercut immediately, or if he tries to go a bit longer now to have better tire wear at the end of the race. Marcelio with another 3-second time penalty now. And this time not even for multiple warnings, just straight corner cutting. So one corner cut that was so egregious was a straight penalty. Always makes a move on Lanky round for P6. And now Edwin is closing into the back of those two. Yeah, you're lagging quite a bit in the party as well. Now Edwin all over the back of Lanky, coming onto the back straight. 2 turns back, but Lanky has got the DRS of Owise as well. And oh, Marcelio retiring in the pit lane. Edwin doesn't have a whole lot of ERS. Gabri and Peaceably into the pits now, responding to the undercut from Edwin. Phantom is staying out. Edwin takes 7th place off Lanky. Doesn't have a whole lot of clean air right now. Oh, goodbye, Mihai.
No, I can join live profile. But, I don't know what's up with my internet. So.
And Gabri's gonna come out behind his teammate, but not too far. Because there's Gabri, and there on the left-hand side, actually, Gabri's come out in the lead! Despite the undercut, it hasn't even worked out for him when he lost too much time between Lanky and Owise. And now his teammate is still ahead of him with fresher tires. Peaceably is 5 seconds back though, he's lost a bit of time in the pit stop phase. But now, if Gabri can get around Owise and Edwin is still stuck, Gabri could even use this chance to break DRS and pull away and just dominate the race from there. Owise, of course, without DRS, nothing he can do against Gabri. We'll see if Edwin slips through as well. He's not gonna hold off ERS, he's gonna try and follow through on his teammate.
Ooh.
He might even get them both. The crashing
Yeah,
behind
fuck.
Action Wreckers round. But we have to
Yeah.
stay on the battle for the win right now because Edwin and Gabri both went past Owise and now they're side by side. Edwin is pulled out ahead into the effectively of the race. Action Wreck is still stationary here. He's lost his entire front wing.
He's picked up damage. I think him and Flavors came together.
Oh no! Flavors was in such a good position. He doesn't have damage, at least. Austin with a 3-second time penalty now.
Gabri's gotta go for a move. No?
Phantom Fox is into the pit lane now. Desi, always the last ones left on the old mediums. Desi's in as well. Gabri probably had to run for a move in the turn 1, but decides better of it. Phantom Fox coming out in 4th place, of course. Just behind PC Woody. Is he gonna be in DRS range? Yeah, he's still in DRS range to PC Woody. Absolutely crucial stuff for him. And in behind the likes of Sully, Kukro, Sean, Google, are they gonna make it to the end on those old hearts? 11 laps already? It's quite a long stint. I think they have to try surely because a pit stop loses you too much time around here. But they are definitely gonna struggle for time wear near the end of the race.
Oh, Gabri's going for a move. Yep.
Yeah, the DRS swap now, not much everyone could have done about that. He needs to make sure he stays with Gabri. He's got not a lot of ERS to work with though. That will make it tough for him. Dylan coming up the back of Kukro. 7-lap tire advantage in favor of Dylan. So he's gonna want to get around him as soon as possible. Start building a gap and just drive away. Build out the 3-second gap he needs to stay ahead of Kukro after penalties as well. And there he goes, Dylan, with a good run onto the max straight. DRS enabled. That should be the position. He has to burn a bit more overtake. Oh, there he goes, finally. Kukro not able to defend for P7. The race seems to have calmed down a bit now. We've got a bit of a train forming behind DC Rail, behind Lanky Brown there. That's Flavors, Owise. Yeah, pretty close in behind in the battle for the final points paying positions here. Oh, not even, the battle for 11th. We've got a yellow flag ahead. And that's Sully, I think. Yes, Sully around in the first sector. He drops behind Dylan and Kukro. And has he picked up damage? Because the car is understeering massively. I think he has picked up damage. Yes!
Yep.
Massive damage on the front wing for Sully. Lets people past to make sure he doesn't cause an incident.
That's terrible for a championship.
Yeah, 2 race wins back to back to get back into the fight. And now, most likely, 0 points in this race. Because he's going to have to come in for a wing change, and he'll be a full pit stop behind the points paying positions. Only a safety car can really save him at this point.
Ooh, Phantom got past BC Willie for 3rd. But he does have that 3-second penalty.
Yeah, that's probably just DRS swap. The 2 of them are alone out on track, so they're not going to be battling too hard. Doesn't make much sense. Coming into the last couple of laps, I think Gabri, Edwin, Phantom, VCB, I think those battles are going to be more relevant then. But they've got 6 seconds ahead, 6 seconds behind, so realistically, they're just gonna sit around and do nothing until the last lap. No one to chase, no one to chase them, so yeah. They're in a bit of a world of their own now. Sully indeed into the pit lane.
Ooh,
Back to the
that
mediums
must be a warning.
and a front wing change.
I think Edwin's definitely picked up a warning there.
Of course, that can
For
affect
track
the
limits.
battle for the race quite a bit. We can have a quick look at the warnings. Look for Edwin and Gabri, see how many warnings they have. 1 for Edwin, 0 for Gabri.
Yeah. That was just there.
Peaceably with a nice run on Phantom, indeed just reclaims 3rd place. Phantom doesn't do a whole lot about it, slaps him down to none as well, lets him go. Really no point in battling, like I said. Especially for Phantom with a time penalty, he needs to make sure he stays far away from the rest of the field. Because the battle with PC when he's basically lost already, unless PC gets a penalty as well.
Oh.
Lanky being passed by Flavors and then Allwise as well in one go. The DRS allowing both of them to move past him.
Oh! What's happened? I don't know if I'm lagging or what, but Flavors is just gone really deep.
You're lagging.
Yep,
Oh, and you're gone again.
disconnected.
Allwise moves past Flavors for 11th.
Yeah, maybe just shooting this. So,
I can't even really understand you, you're lagging in
I'll
the
be
party as
gone
well.
few laps this one.
You keep cutting out. Swap for the lead there, with Edwin getting back past Gabri for the lead of the Grand Prix. Edwin seems to have recovered a bit from the pace department. He is very much on pace with Gabri once more. Oh, and Mihai is gone. Suppose Mihai's internet has finally shut the bed completely. And now Thunderfox with a disconnect from running in 4th place. That's really not good for him. Where is he? Where is he? I can't invite him if I don't find him. Oh, come on. There we go, I've re-invited Phantom. But that's gonna really cost him in this Grand Prix. He's gonna lose DRS. And he's back in, but he's gonna have lost DRS to PCV by the time he's back in control of the car. So it's gonna make it a little bit more difficult for him to bring that 4th place home. Quite a few drivers on really old tires in the top 10. Kuko, Sean on 15, DC Driver with 10 laps, Dylan on 8, Aussie on 9. Yellow flags in Sector 2, it's Action Rick, who was spun around here in the slow section just before the chicane. Another swap between Gabri and Edwin. I think Action Rick has picked up damages with that as well. Yep, missing the entire right hand side of the front wing. And now Sully has retired in the pit lane. One of the championship protagonists throwing in the towel. He's done for the day. Does not think he can get back into points. And that's it for Sully. Not the race he needed whatsoever. He had fought his way back into the title contention. Phantom Fox is left again. I'm gonna guess it's the glitch where he couldn't take control, because I don't think I even saw him back on control of the car. There we go, sent him another invite. An Action Rick in the pit lane with a front wing change. He's gonna be lapped now, yep. So even the safety car can't really bring him back into contention of this race. Phantom Fox dropping back further and further into the clutches of the cars in behind. Thankfully for him, Aussie and Dylan also have 3 seconds of penalties, so the only car he needs to worry about is Kuko in 7th and Desi in 8th. The 2 Red Bulls. Sean on really old tires, he should be able to gap him once more even if Sean gets within 3 seconds. Phantom Fox back in. I think Bazooka might have been round or turbo. He lost quite a bit of time to his teammate, if I'm not mistaken. 10 laps to go. Oh, a bit more than 10 laps to go, and the Ferrari is still in absolute control of this race. 6.5 seconds of gap to PCV. Exactly what I talked about. Once that gap opens up, because they were not significantly faster than the drivers behind them coming into the race, at the start of the race as well, but once that DRS broke to everybody else and they started working together, they weren't battling each other, they just keep extending that gap more and more. There is nothing PC can do. This is not PC being 6 seconds slower on pace. This is Edwin and Gabri pulling each other along with the DRS. And unless PC has like a 1 second a lap pace advantage, he cannot overcome this. It's practically impossible. Yeah, and it's it means that for him, the absolute maximum you can get now is P3, and he is also completely on his own, especially now that Phantom Fox is disconnected and can't really seem to get back into control of his car. I'll invite him another time. Right, I've also invited Mia back to the party. He said it should work now, so we'll see. Phantom at this point is almost dropped into the clutches of Aussie.
I don't know what's happening, but...
Yeah, Phantom is having the same issues as you. He disconnected, he came back in and I think he can't take control of the car. So he just keeps going around. At this point he's now in DRS to Aussie. I think he's just now back in control.
Yeah, wow. If it happens again, I'm just gonna call it in. It's not normally like this, but...
Phantom has lost 8 seconds with that, of a couple laps of AI. So from being pretty much safe in P4, he now has to actually battle again, over it. With Aussie and Dylan. Mainly Aussie, Dylan is another couple of seconds back.
Ice has just broken into DRS slightly.
And Phantom is gone again.
Gone again. It won't be an F1 total race without at least a few people disconnecting.
It's just Phantom like 5 times now. I've invited him back in again, but at this point I think it just seems to be over for him because he's been passed by Aussie now. And Dylan's gonna pass him as well. That's really unfortunate. Phantom was having a great race, up in 4th place. And it's being taken away from him by the connection. Zaya is actually gonna re-overtake Aussie here. And then Aussie, obviously, just drives right past it once more. The AI is set to 75, so it should be capable. Oh, everyone here should be capable of beating the AI. Desi moving past Sean there, or battling with Sean over 8th. Of course, a massive tyre advantage in favor of Desi.
What happened to Silly?
He retired in the pit lane.
Oh. Flavors, 3-second penalty.
Phantom is back in again, hopefully for good this time.
It's only lost about a second.
Yeah, but he stopped out of DRS to Aussie now.
Well, I'm watching the battle for 10th at the moment. Ice is caught up quite a bit.
Yeah, of course, Viral on much older tyres, so always should be able to move around the outside, but no, Viral defends it quite well.
I don't know if he's picked up some slight damage that I can't see from the collision earlier.
Phantom is back in control of the car, and he's got Dylan right behind him. The two of them could try and work together to catch Aussie, or they could start battling over 5th. Let's see what they do. Phantom is covering the inside. Dylan moves to the outside. Outbrake. Oh, and Phantom is gone again. I mean, I'll invite him again, but at this point it seems pointless. He just disconnects every 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's just a bit unfortunate. I think everyone has that 1 week that it just happens, I think. Have a look at the track map, by the way. Look at the gaps that are formed.
Yeah, when you have these DRS trains, once they separate from each other, they just drive away from each other more and more and more. I talked about it earlier with Peacevely, when he was 6 seconds back, now it's 8. That this is not Peacevely being that much slower. He has the same pace as Efren Gasly. We saw that start of the race. But once Gabriel and Edwin broke the DRS to everybody else, and they start working together, pulling each other along, they gain so much time on this game. It's impossible to overcome. PC would have to be like a full second lap
flavors.
faster. We're trying on the pit lane.
Pits.
A full second lap faster really to overcome this and get back into the battle for the race win. So it's just a really frustrating experience when someone ahead of you makes a mistake, drops out of DRS to the cars ahead of them, and that costs you the like pretty much your entire race. And it's just really not possible to recover from that. And we've been seeing quite a bit of that this race, I think. These DRS trains, multiple small DRS trains forming rather than one massive one. And it's sort of locking drivers into like different races, and they really can't get higher than a certain position anymore, no matter what they do.
I will say PC Willie is one warning away from a penalty. Just check there, he's on 2 at the moment.
Please look at the way he is. I don't think he cares. Look at him on the track map. He is so far, he can't see another car.
Although, like you said, all it takes is one safety car and...
Yeah, fair. I mean, we are getting pretty close to the end of the race, and it doesn't seem like a safety car's gonna come. Although this race could really use one, to be entirely honest.
Yeah, I can see why it is every week. This is quite fun.
This has been the worst race of the season. Easily. Maybe not this season, but this season in general has been a bit dead. The drivers have kind of improved to a level where there isn't as much chaos anymore. Oh, Desi with a bit of a mistake there, coming onto the second straight lap, the second DRS straight. He gets passed by Sean Moole. And I must say, I'm quite impressed at how well Sean and Kuku are holding pace on those 21 lap old hard tires. When the only other driver on them is Guga River, and he is just fun, I think.
I don't know what's happened to him, but is very unfortunate in turn 1. The first lap, and that's just messed up from there.
Another time penalty coming in, this time for the survival. He's up to 3 seconds now. It's gonna cost him maybe a good chance of some points there. Already down in 12th, of course, but yeah, even if he gets into the top 10 now, he won't get those points unless he drives away by 3 seconds. Dylan seems to be closing in on Aussie, so the battle for P4 might not be over just yet. Good news for Aussie, Dylan and Phantom with their 3-second penalties is the age of the tires in behind them. Kuku and Sean 3 seconds back each, or Kuku 3 seconds back, Sean another second back, and they have both got really old tires, so they are probably not going to be able to break into that 3-second range. Desi, I mean, his tires are a lot younger, but he doesn't seem to have the pace over Sean and Kuku. He's been in this position, swapping with Sean for quite a while now, so he doesn't seem to have the pace to go after Kuku and maybe have a run at 4th place. He's gonna pass Sean for 8th now. Maybe if Kuku lets him into DRS, he can defend from Sean easier. If Kuku just slows down by a couple of tenths. It helps his teammate out. And then they can start trying to work together to catch the cars ahead, get into the 3-second range, and maybe claim a P4 and P5 from Red Bull. That would be quite big for them.
Dylan is almost within DRS range now.
Yeah,
Very
Phantom
nearly.
is all over back. Phantom also is finally actually able to save Lobby. Just as I said, it doesn't seem
Don't
to be...
jinx it.
like it, yeah, just as I sent the message, I'll keep inviting you, but it doesn't seem to be working, you know? Well, it seems like there's no point. Now there seems to be a point, because Phantom, yeah, is actually... I don't want to curse him now, but he stayed in for more than 5 seconds. And
I
I'm
think
going to take
it's-
Dylan. Phantom the move for P5.
I think, to be honest, it's... Oh, switchback. No. I think it's Marcellia, to be honest. His Flavors complained about that as well in the chat.
The swap brings up to Edwin and Gabri. We are getting into the phase in the race where this is starting to get more interesting in terms of the battle for the race win. They're gonna have to set up for the last lap. They wanna have to figure out a strategy if they wanna be behind or ahead coming onto the last lap, and which DS straight they wanna be ahead or behind, where they wanna make their pass. There is multiple opportunities around this track, 2 main ones. Do you wanna go for it here on the last straight, or into the really slow section on that DRS straight? Or do you just want to be ahead the whole way through? What is the game plan for Edwin and Gabri? Could be very interesting coming into the last lap, because it doesn't seem like anyone's able to break away. It's gonna go down to the last lap, I'm pretty confident.
I think in this situation, I don't think you can stay ahead for the whole lap. Unless something happens.
The two DRS straights are too long, and they're too close together as well. I think the best play is the pass into the hairpin. So you want to be behind after the DS straight they're about to come onto. Whether that means that you let the other guy overtake you into there, or whether that means to start the lap behind. I think starting the lap behind is easier because you're more in control of the situation. If you're the car behind, you can just stay behind. If you're the car ahead, like if Edwin wants Gabri to pass now and Gabri doesn't pass, what is Edwin gonna do about it? I mean, he could just like stop, but that's also not really a good idea.
Phantom's really close in on Aussie's DRS now. Aussie's really struggling.
Aussie, Phantom and Dylan are all back in the train. It's in the battle for fourth. Heating up. Desi has caught his teammate Kuko. Kuko has dropped 6 seconds max, so his tires have hit the cliff completely. He should let his teammate go now and let Desi maybe hope for a little bit of battling up ahead so he can get within those 3-second ranges. BC really has to drop 10 seconds either way. Edwin covering the inside, and he breaks really early and lets Gabri through.
Aussie is really struggling here.
Yeah, Aussie on 18 double hearts, of course. He's also probably going to have quite a bit of tire wear here, and Phantom is going to use that to his advantage, makes a move for fourth. And maybe, because Dylan is quite far back, maybe Phantom can now try and break away from these two, while Aussie is still able to block Dylan. Because yeah, Aussie's pace seems to have dropped off the cliff. Dylan's tires are also quite old, to be fair. Phantom's got a massive tire advantage. In fact, Phantom has the best tires in the field. Or at least he's tied for it with a couple of other guys. If you ignore Action Wreck, who is a lap down. Heading on to the last 2 laps. Gabri is saving all of his ERS basically. Edwin is still using it a little bit, which is interesting to see. You would think that they are both basically gonna just hope to go into the last lap with 100% ERS. But to be fair, with the ERS is on F124, they can start worrying about that next lap.
Yeah.
It really only takes 1 lap to go from 0 to 100. Kuko and Desi are actually battling over 7th a little bit here. And it's allowing Owise to catch up from behind. He was quite far back from these guys, wasn't he? He's past Sean at this point, and now he's chasing after the 2 Red Bulls. The gap to the car's head is 8 seconds, and they are fairly safe with their 3-second time penalties, Phantom, Aussie and Dylan. So it is indeed just a straight battle for 7th here between Kuko, Desi, Owise and Sean. We are on to lap 28, 2 laps to go. And a fight for the win between the 2 Ferraris heading up. And of course, these 2 are both massive title contenders. Gabri on 68, Edwin on 88. Edwin yet to win a race this season, but also yet to finish off the podium this season. His results so far,
be very careful.
Read very much like mine, to be honest, from last season.
They cannot let this silly DNF go and not extend that gap.
I mean, I don't think we're going to be seeing any silly things from them. There's just going to be a DRS pass on the last lap. It's just about who has the ERS, who has the exit out the corner. We're not going to see any like crazy dive bombs. They're teammates after all, and they're also both, even if they weren't teammates, they are both intelligent enough to know that you don't throw away a guaranteed P2 in this scenario for like an all or nothing Hail Mary dive bomb.
You say I've seen Gabri. I don't know if this is just my eyes, but he has slowed down quite a bit in some places they wouldn't normally slow down. Yeah, it's been a bit close.
I think he wants Edwin to be ahead going to the last lap, and Edwin is going to take that offer. And it's Edwin leading onto the last lap. Gabri's already burning the voltage. Of course, he needs to stay close to Edwin, but he needs to have enough ERS left
Sean's
heading onto that last straight. So, into turn 1 we go, and this is now going to be essentially a chess match. This is not racing, this is chess. Because these guys are on exactly the same pace. This is not going to be decided by who's the faster driver, it's decided by the ERS management and by the car placement now. Gabri needs to stay a little bit closer maybe, unless he wants to stay behind here and have a go on the second ERS straight. Let's see the ERS and Edwin, they're fairly equally matched in ERS terms here. Gabri needs to get a little bit closer, he needs to burn a little bit of overtake to get closer. Now that the ERS activated, he burns a bit more, Gabri's gonna go for it. Gabri to the outside, Edwin defending on the inside, breaks late, doesn't want to let Gabri go, they're side by side. Edwin comes out ahead, and he's got a bit more ERS for the last one as well, but Gabri is literally right behind. Phantom Box disconnecting on the last lap. Edwin, genius move, takes his second warning there on purpose, and gets the gap he needs on Gabri. If that wins him the race, that's absolutely genius. Because he had the warning free, he cut the corner completely, took the warning, fair enough, but Gabri might still have a run on him. Gabri in the slipstream, pulling to the inside, oh! But they make a bit of contact. Gabri sends it up the inside to the apex, locks up, goes into the side pod, on spins round! Gabri's rounded. Edwin is gonna win the Miami Grand Prix. What a race finish that was! And it's gonna be a 1-2 for Ferrari. Yes, the gap to perceivably was big enough that even with the spin, Gabri still takes home P2. Edwin finally takes his first win of the season, followed by Gabri, then perceivably with an insanely strong race. Quite a boring race for him probably, but still he can be quite happy with that P3. Aussie really and Dylan with a photo finish as well. I think that is Aussie taking fourth ahead of Dylan. Then Phantom with all the disconnects, still in P6. Kuko always also side by side into line 2. Kuko being sent to the pit entry. He rejoins and he gets a 20-second time penalty. That's going out to the stewards. Always in 7th for now. Then Desi, Sean, Lanky, Viral in 11th, Bazooka in 12th, Kuko to 20 seconds, dropped to 13th. I'm fairly sure it's going to go to the stewards and be at the very least Meduse, because 20 seconds for that is insane. And Kuko River coming home in 14th. He beats Kuko.
What have I missed? What have I seen there?
Yeah, Kuko got pushed into the pit entry, and because he cut the corner and then regained the position that was a legal overtake, and because he didn't give it back before the line, the game gives a really harsh penalty for that of 20 seconds.
Also, I told you that was gonna happen, where they're gonna almost throw it away. They're very lucky.
I was convinced they'd be very calm about it, but they were not calm at all. They were going all out. Like that was a Edwin covered the inside so much, and Gabri still went inside even more. They made a bit of contact and completely sent it in the brakes. Gabri can count himself lucky / P2 because I would say he wanted that win too much. But I must say, an absolutely genius move by Edwin with the track limit warning. That could have backfired quite badly as well if he had gotten a straight 3-second penalty, and it would have been the most embarrassing moment ever. But it's worked out really well. And yeah, if you check the warnings on Edwin, I'm fairly sure it's going to say yeah, there we have it, warning and warning on the last lap. Yep, he knew he had one warning open.
The other fast swap,
and that probably also on the last lap. And Gabri. He didn't have a warning at all. He could have done it as well, but he didn't think of it. And indeed, I think Edwin. No, his fastest lap was not the last lap. That would have been quite silly if that counted as the fastest lap of the race. But yeah,
I think that was a move I'd see in a 5-lapper. I think that was a bit risky.
Yeah, Gabri can count instead of really lucky that they broke the ERS to Westerfield so early. Otherwise, I don't think he would have even gone for that in the first place. He would have probably been a bit more careful. Like the gap they had to perceivably did allow him to be, because if you're gonna crash at the last corner, it's not fast enough to DNF you. Like the corner is so slow.
Yeah.
So he knew, as long as I don't completely fuck it, I just need to, turn the car back around, go over the line, I still have P2, it's fine. So I suppose it worked out in the end. Yeah, but that race really came alive in the last lap. I'm sorry I couldn't really cover the midfield battle that was going on. I just saw it on coming out the last corner. I saw them battling. Kuko and Ober, I think it was, were side by side over the line, and as well Dylan and Aussie in the battle for fourth.
Sean had a really big moment at the chicane. I think on the second last lap. I think it was. I don't know what happened. I just saw him bouncing over a curb. But that was better than driving, I think.
Well, thank you for joining me. Was fun having you for the commentary.
Can I do that permanently?
I really like. We need someone making this interesting. Seriously. So boring.
Sure, I actually think that was more fun than driving.
Can you just like do the first however many laps until we need a safety car? Then you do your thing, and then you go join the commentary. Can we make this deal?
I'm not that bad. We're at crashing.
He says
That
that's the
time is
only reason that
because I
he's
had damage.
talking to me right now is that he's crashed.
Damage. Which I don't think is my fault, but you shouldn't get damage for that. Like, it was a simple tap from behind.
Well, thank you guys very much for watching. I did say in the middle of the race it was quite boring, but the end I think made up for it. That was a really good ending to the Grand Prix. Yeah, that's been the Miami Grand Prix, and a big moment in the championship. No points for Sully, 25 for Edwin. So the gap opens up between those two. Of course, Sully tied for second place with Gabri actually ahead on countback. If we were to apply that correctly mid-season, I didn't bother. Yeah, the gap now opened up between those two from 20 to 46 points, with the fastest lap going to Edwin as well. Gabri now 26 behind. PC when he was 27 behind, he is now 38 behind. So Edwin in a really, really good position now, coming into the second half of the season. Our next race,
Mystery.
we don't know. The Mystery Grand Prix, we have no idea. The track is going to be randomly decided about 20-15 minutes before the race. I might do it a bit earlier so I can maybe actually do some research on the track for once, but I won't tell the drivers. And for Division 1 of course as well. In that case I do actually have to wait until quite late, because otherwise I would have competitive advantage. Yeah, that should be fun. A Mystery Grand Prix. No one can practice. They don't know the track until just before the race, so they have enough time to just save a setup if they need one, if they don't have one yet, and then join the lobby. So they should be...
Gabriel said in the chat, in reply to Edwin saying they cut the corner purposely, he said that cannot be illegal. There's something to get up there with that.
I mean, he got a track limit warning. He got the appropriate penalty that the game gives for it. We've never really stepped in terms of track limits of the game.
I've never seen that before.
If it's reported, it will go down to stewards. I can already give you what my verdict would be. If, in my opinion, it's legal, because the track limits are enforced by the game, and the system the game uses is to have a warning system, and it's the same for everyone. So you can, if you manage to stay in the track limits all race and have a warning free on the last lap, you can do this. You can abuse the system like that and gain time. That's at least my opinion. Yeah, and make use of that to have the gap you need. Because in the same way, I mean, you game the track limit system, you also game like, Gabri let Edwin pass onto the last lap because he knows the strength of the DRS. So if you then don't allow like similar games being played in other systems of the game you can abuse, then it's just silly. Then, you know, I see it as the same, like I see those track limit games as the same sort of thing as abusing the DRS system and letting people pass, you know, to get a DRS in the last lap. At least that's my opinion. But if it goes down to the stewards, yeah, we've got 4 other stewards who will be talking about it in Sully, Marco, Luki, and Nick. So my opinion will not be the deciding one. Well, maybe if the others are 2 versus 2, I'll be the deciding vote, I suppose. But like I said, there's 5 of us deciding it. So it's not like a guaranteed thing that Edwin will keep the win if Gabri chooses to report. But at least I personally would say it's I wouldn't call it the most fair or sportsmanlike thing to do, but
It's very smart.
it's an absolutely genius move. It's legal, and I don't see it as any less sportsmanlike than the DRS games that we play. And I say we because I play them as well every week, every time we go racing. For me, it's the same thing to play DRS games or to abuse the fact that you have track limit warnings that you can use to gain a bit of time at a crucial moment. So yeah, that's been the Miami Grand Prix. Short little podcast about Edwin's move in the last lap, which I'm glad he confirmed it was on purpose, because I thought it was on purpose, but maybe he actually just missed the corner. So yeah, see you all for the Mystery Grand Prix on Saturday in Division 1, and in 7 days from now on Wednesday in Division 2. Goodbye!